Don't work in the business, work on the business. So I'm currently here at the Shanghai Observatory, and I've got a bird's eye view of the entire of Shanghai, 360-degree view. Now, why am I saying this to you and why am I sharing this with you? Because a lot of you right now, you want to achieve something great, but you can't see the woods through the trees. In fact, you're trying to do something, but you're not able to do it because you don't know which direction to go in. First of all, you are making sure that you are doing something that is different to what you normally do. Because if you do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, that is, as they say, the definition of insanity. So I want you to start thinking about, if you were to come outside of your company, if you were to kind of get that bird's eye view, what would you do differently? In fact, what have you done that you haven't even tried before? How many of you have been to a restaurant before and you say, I don't want that? For example, we're in China right now, so my wife is like trying all these new incredible dishes. And she says to me, we should try this dish. I said, well, I don't like it. So how do you know if you've never even tried it before? So I have this preconceived idea. Now, the reason why you want to have this kind of bird's eye view, and again, I'm going to show you, being able to see outside of your current view, I can see different views. Look, you can see where the river is, you can see where the bridge is. There we are, Pearl Tower. Right? I have a much clearer view, but we want to get that bird's eye view. So a lot of the times when you want to create something and do something, try and come at it from a different angle. Try not to do the same thing you've been doing over and over again. And by the way, I am guilty of this sometimes. You know, I see something that works and I just keep doing more of it. And yes, you probably heard some of my videos. You say, well, John, isn't that what you should be doing? You should be doubling down on what you're good at. Yes. 80-20 rule. 80% do the same thing, 20% start experimenting with new things. But you can only do that if you have a bird's eye view. If you come outside and you can see down, where everything is, where are the buildings, where's the path going. I'll give you a really good strategy that I've been using a lot. A lot of you that have a business, start doing management meetings. Once, twice, 3 times a week, get your big numbers together, talk about numbers, because you can't improve something you can't measure. So when you're able to have this bird's eye view, you can see everything that's happening in one shot. I'm dyslexic, so that's probably why I like to see things visually, like a bird's eye view from the top, because I can see where the anchor points are. Like, for example, if all you do is you take all your numbers and you put them into a graph format, you'll see the peaks and troughs. You'll see where it's going up and you'll see where it's going down. Now, why is that important? Because you'll see where the dips are. And if you go year on year on year on year, for example, we had a management meeting and I was looking at the figures, and every year there's always a dip in August. Why? Because most people are on a holiday, they're enjoying their life, they may not be focusing on self-development, entrepreneurship and business. And I get that. But also we got to start thinking about, if that's the thing that happens, what can we do to combat that? What can we do to make sure that doesn't happen? What can we do to make sure that the figures don't dip? And that's why, as I'm getting this bird's eye view, I'm looking at this view right now, that's the view that you want to get with your business. And not only that, in your life. Like, look at where you are right now. Look at your finances. Some people say to me, John, whatever I do, I just can't make money. Why? And it's because they don't have a bird's eye view of the finances. If you put all your numbers into a spreadsheet and you run some AI, and there's lots of AI software that can run through numbers, tell you where you're spending money, tell you where you're wasting money, tell you what's an ROI, return on investment, tells you what is the cost versus the liability versus revenue and profit. One little strategy I've got for you. So this one thing I'm going to tell you right now made a massive impact. And that is, you want to tax yourself first, right? What do I mean? Like, a lot of you get taxed in things, right? So you make money and then, you got to pay your taxes. What if you could just tax yourself first? What if you could take money out straight away? Now, you would never be able to see that if you didn't have that bird's eye view, because every day you'd be like, oh, I'm earning money to pay the bills. So until you do that analysis of your finances, nothing else changes. That's why every single day, really, you should be checking your bank account every day. You've got HSBC, you've got, depending on where you're watching this right now, they've got all these different apps where you can just open. And so my message to you is, where is the money going? Where is it flowing? And how much is coming in? So that's why when you're able to create and know those figures, you have high level. And the high level tells you where the holes are. It's kind of like, there's no point in making a lot of money. It's like filling up a bucket with water, and every time you're not looking at high level, someone's punching a hole in it, right? And then water is flowing out. That is your money. So if you're ever stuck by not having any money, it's because probably you're not having that high level view, right? It's having the high level view that gives you all the stats and things that you need to see. I really want you to pay close attention to really having that high level view, bird's eye view, and just seeing what's working. And also another thing that I think is important, let's say, for argument's sake, let's say you do this. Let's say, John, I already do this. I already have a big picture of what I'm seeing. I already know what's going on, what's going in. And you already know that. You can already see it from the top. And you're still not working. Then what's the problem? The problem is not that you don't have the vision now. The problem is that you can't tell the figures and the numbers tells a pattern. So you got to start seeing the patterns. What are the patterns of spending? What are the patterns of making? What are the patterns of accumulating? What is the patterns of losses? Do you know how many times I've spoken to people and I look at their investment portfolio and they say, John, I've lost all this money in this investment portfolio. Well, look at that bird's eye view. Look at where the money's going. What sectors is it going in? At what times are you investing? Are you investing early stage, mid stage, late stage? Like, which one of these are you investing in right now? See, unless you have that high level, you can't see it. It's very hard if you don't have all the numbers. When you have all the little numbers that you can punch into something, it's what we call extrapolation. When you extrapolate your numbers by 1 or 2%, that can make or break a company. And I'm telling you this from experience. For example, one of the biggest expenses right now for every business is marketing. But then how do you know which one of your marketing efforts is making the most ROI? Well, unless you have a bird's eye view, unless you can see from the top where the money is going. Is it going that way? Is it going that way? Is it going that way? You have no idea. But if you now are in a position where you know that from these marketing efforts it's making this much money and in this effort it's not making money, then you can divert it. But you can't do that unless you have that bird's eye view, that working on the business instead of in it, because when you're in it you cannot see the woods through the trees. So if you've got any questions on this, by the way, drop me a comment below and I'd love to personally come and answer those questions. But this is one of the reasons why we run a lot of events, to keep you up to date with the new trends, new things that's happening, new business models. Is it a bull market? Is it a bear market? Is it good to invest now? Is it good to invest in real estate? A guy was just telling me here in Shanghai that a lot of property prices have gone down. So you look at property prices going down, you look at interest rates going up or down, then you look exchange rate. So if the market goes down, exchange rate is up, and there's less supply and demand, guess what? That's a good recipe for deals. Again, you would never see that unless you have a high level view. So look at the patterns, look at the figures, and you'll see which way, it'll tell you which direction to go. So just to summarize, high level up, get the numbers, visualize it, put it in graph format, and your life will definitely change. Again, if you know someone who's struggling, share this video with them as well. And also I'll link a video here as well, so check out this video because it'll really help you get to the next level.